Hey guys, today we are privileged to be at CFAO sampling the new series of Mercedes-Benz cars that are available. So on that side, we have the new Mercedes-Benz W206 C180. Now the W206 is the fifth generation of the Mercedes-Benz C-Class, and right here we have two very interesting models. They look similar, but they are quite different in their own way. So we have the Mercedes-Benz W214, and this is the sixth generation of the E-Class series. Now right here we have the E200 and we have the E300 on the other side, but I would like us to start with the E200 because there are some interesting bits on this car that I would like us to talk about. First of all, the E-Class has evolved to be the same luxury sedan, and it's elegant, it's trendy, and it does look, it's quite a looker, by the way. And another thing is that this vehicle is tropicalized for African terrain. One of the things that you might realize from the prima facie, the first impression, is that the clearance on this Benz is a bit higher compared to others, and this is because it has what is called the rough road package suspension that sets the ground clearance a bit higher to tackle African terrain, and that is why buying it brand new gives you a set of advantages. And another advantage, or some icing to the cake, is that you get 5-year free service and a 2-year warranty. Now, one of the most interesting things about the W214 is what is under the hood, and let's check it out. Now, under the hood of the E200 is the Mercedes-Benz M254 engine, and the M254 engine is available in two variants. One of them is a 1.5 liter or 1500cc turbocharged variant, and this one is a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged variant. This is a mild hybrid, and it features what is called Mercedes-Benz EQ Boost. Well, in a mild hybrid, the vehicle cannot run entirely on battery power. It only has an electric motor that pumps in some more power to the internal combustion engine, and it does save some fuel as well. Now, talking about power, what are the power figures on the M254 in the E200? Now, on this one, you'll be getting around 200 horsepower and 320 Newton meters of torque. Power is transmitted to the wheels through a 9-speed automatic transmission, and this is what Mercedes-Benz calls 9G-tronic. The other unique selling point about the M254 is the fuel economy. Yeah, but the fuel economy in the M254, E200 and in the E300 is quite different, and you can get those figures from the brochures na unaweza zipata kwa website ya CFAO. Now, the other thing, what really contributes or what brings up the aspect of the mild hybrid concept in this car, it has a 48-volt integrated starter generator, and that is responsible for all the mild hybrid applications in this car. So it does send some more, or it does boost the power coming from the internal combustion engine, both giving you more power and as well as saving you more fuel. Now let's check out the suspension, because that is also interesting. Now the E200 sits on size 18 wheels, and it has double wishbones at the front and independent rear suspension, and as I told you earlier, it does sit a little bit higher because of the the rough road suspension setup. So it's designed to handle the African terrain. Now, the other interesting design features is that it has flush fitting door handles, so they can pop out and pop in. They pop out when you want to, board the car, and once you lock the car, they slide back in. Now, let's take a look at the interior of the E200. Inside the E200, this is a vehicle that is drenched in tech, but it has some few classic Mercedes-Benz design cues, like the MBUX. The MBUX is basically the Mercedes-Benz user experience infotainment system, and it can do quite a lot. And part of what it can do is okay, so the screen itself looks very futuristic, and if we do menu tells you switch on the vehicle, and the cluster is really beautiful. I don't like digital clusters, but the digital cluster in this actually is, it's quite a thing. It makes the vehicle feel, you know, more extremely luxurious, and you know that tech brings in some sort of you know, futuristic feel. And the other good thing is that despite how futuristic this car looks, it still has that punch of power, the Mercedes-Benz punch of power, and also the traditional Mercedes-Benz E-Class feel in it. Now, the dials on the steering controls are touch sensitive. You get the classic Mercedes-Benz shift by wire, and the knob is on your right hand side. And with the infotainment system, there is a lot that you can actually do. It has a smartphone integrated. It can integrate a smartphone. You can control the driving modes of the vehicle, plus a whole lot of things that you can do with the Mercedes-Benz MUX. It has a very good sound system that is worth sampling. So if you want to sample how this car feels, you can walk into the CFAO showrooms along Lusaka Road and get to have the feel of this particular car. Now, in terms of storage spaces, it has the classical Mercedes-Benz storage that is convenient, and one thing, once you lock it up, it flashes, so you don't have holes in your center console, and this is a luxurious feel that you get when you just look at the design language in the Mercedes-Benz. Now, one thing you'll note about the E-Class is the vent design as compared to what I'll show you on the C-Class. Now, this one is a bit more luxurious, a bit more refined. The build quality is superb, and also you get this mood lighting around, and it sets the luxury mood of the Mercedes-Benz E-Class W214. Now, the rear has very good legroom, and it's quite practical as well. The other thing is that you also get heated seats and cooled seats, so it's a very convenient vehicle to be in. So as you alight from the car, the Mercedes-Benz E-Class W214, you do not bang the door because it has soft locking doors. Hapana gongesha mlango kama ya msalani, no, unawekelea tu inajifunga yenyewe. So let's check out the boot space because it's quite convenient for this particular luxury sedan. The 214 offers a powered tailgate, and this is a very good convenience feature. It brings out the luxury aspect of this particular vehicle, and one unique selling point of the 213 is the huge boot space that you get, and this is handy if you're using this car as a family vehicle, because when you're traveling you have ample space to haul your family's luggage. Now, with the badging, this one is an E200, but if you follow me, you will notice that this one is an E300. The looks are identical, but what is the difference? Well, let me explain, and I have to show you this as well. Follow me, follow me, follow me. See the flush fitting door handles that if you want to get into the car, you just bulge out and you can easily open the door. Now, in spite of the fact that they are both E300s and with the same engine, there is a huge difference when it comes to power output. Well, even under the hood, everything seems identical, but the power you get from this is way much compared to what you get from the E200. Now, from the E300, we are talking about 258 horsepower and 400 Newton meters of torque. So this one is the more powerful variant of, on the lineup. But so that's the major difference between the E200 and the E300 available here. So 200 horsepower, and on this one you get 58 horsepower more. And in terms of torque, you get almost 100 more Newton meters of torque comparing the two. Now, these vehicles do have a small brother, and that is the C180 W206. Now, the 206 is the 5th generation of the Mercedes-Benz C-Class, and just like its big brothers, what is under the hood is more or less the same. Now, let me show you, just for the benefit And again, this brings another conversation, because if you open the hood of the C180, under the hood you still get the same Mercedes-Benz M254 engine. However, I told you that the M254 comes in two variants. There is a 1500cc variant that is turbocharged, then there is also a 2-liter variant, and then the 2-liter variants have different power outputs. Now for the C180, this is the M254 1.5, so it's a 1500cc engine, and it's built towards power and fuel economy. Now the fuel economy on this one, and point to note, is that this one is also a mild hybrid, so it has an integrated starter motor, and when it comes to marketing language, it features Mercedes-Benz EQ Boost. Now we have talked about the mild hybrid aspect, and it also has the 48-volt integrated starter generator. Now in terms of power, this one will give you 170 horsepower and 252 Newton meters of torque. Now power is sent to the rear wheels still by the use of the 9G-tronic, the 9-speed automatic transmission from Mercedes-Benz. So they are more or less the same cars, but tweaked differently. Now, what is the unique difference between the W206 and the W205? Now, the W206 has grown in size, and just as we talked about the 214s, it also has higher clearance, and this means it's tweaked towards the African terrain. Again, just like its big brothers, the 214s, it features double wishbones at the front and independent rear suspension, and the suspension setup is basically the conventional coil-over suspension. Now inside, it is the smaller brother to, or the smaller sister to, the 214s, and I would like us to just go through the interior of the W206. In spite of being smaller, it still greatly resembles the 214s right there. And with the 206, again, you get touch sensitive steering controls, shift by wire, and you get the MBUX infotainment system. And also, even the storage spaces inside here, they are still very similar to what we get with the 214s. One significant difference between the 214s and the 206 is the vent design on the dashboard. Now, if you look at the W205 and you look at the 206, some design cues have been carried forward, like the vent design. So it still has the same round vents, round oval, yes. And that's something, it's classical Mercedes-Benz. So these are some, if you're nostalgic coming from the W205, at least you will still get the same feel from the W206, but in a refined way, because the infotainment system is simply beautiful. And I want to show you some unique points to note on the C180 W206. Now, if you want to drive in a thrilling way, on the infotainment system, you can actually engage manual shifting. And if you engage manual shifting, you will use the paddle shifts on it. Also, there is an option called dynamic select. Now, on dynamic select is where you get to select how you want to feel when you're driving the W206. Now, there is the drive mode, and you can choose between eco when you want to save fuel, comfort when you want to cruise, or sport when you want to have some fun. Now, apart from the driving mode, you can also change the steering feel. You can either choose comfort or sport. Now, sport is a bit stiff, and it's tuned towards you having fun with the car and feeling the adhesiveness to the road. The other interesting mode is the ESP, the electronic stability program. Now, it's tweaked differently when in sport and when it's in comfort. So when you're doing some highway cruising or town errands, just switch it to comfort, and it will tweak the car towards being in comfort mode. Now, if you want to have a stiffer suspension and also to feel the road properly and make it feel like a sports car, you just change the ESP program to sport. So those are some of the unique things in the W206 that I feel bring out the driver in the person driving. It's quite driver-centric. And okay, I love analog gauges, but This screen over here also mimics the analog gauges, so it does not take the driving experience of the Mercedes-Benz. It only digitizes the analog gauges. The role of this small button over here with the A on it is to switch on or to switch off start-stop. Now, how does start-stop work? When you're in traffic and you brake the vehicle to a halt, now the engine will shut down, and when you let go of the brake pedal, the engine will start once more. So that is the role of idling stop. And another thing to note is that both the 214s and the 206, it's that the local ones, the ones for the Kenyan market, are rated at Euro 4 because of tropicalization. The 206 has also grown in size, so you get better legroom at the back and also ample boot space when it comes to the trunk space. The interior also features the mood lighting, so it sets the mood. It brings out that aspect of luxury. You know, this particular one is purple, and I do really love it. The seats are leather and you properly tucked in, so it brings a rare blend between a sports car and a car tuned towards comfort. Let's check out the trunk space and see how ideal this car is to be a family vehicle. The Mercedes-Benz W206 is versatile, and it will play the role of being both an office or work vehicle and also a family vehicle. It's very child-friendly, it's safe, and it's elegant as well. So with time, guys, we'll be able to get these cars from CFAO, and we'll take them for a drive, and we'll be able to give you a much more detailed review. I hope this has been an insightful mini review bringing you the latest cars in the Kenyan car market. And we were able to sample these cars at CFAO along Lusaka Road. So if you want to check out these cars, please do drop by and ask. You'll be able to see these cars, sample them, and see more features. But do wait, because we'll have the chance to take these cars on the road once they are available, and we'll give you an up close and candid review, just as we do it here at Auto Connect.